Welcome. My name is Kelly Marshall. I am a licensed practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas, and it is my pleasure today to sit with you in meditation. Today's contemplation is the idea of divine peace, a presence that dwells within each of us, no matter the external circumstances that we may be experiencing. That peace is simply known to us when we turn inward toward it. That it is infinite, it is present with us through all eternity. Something that never leaves us. Peace that is our birthright. And in that inner knowing, a comfort and calmness. As a signal or sign of our presence here today, I invite you to embrace the breath. An action that brings us energy. That signals that in that very moment that we are alive to breathe in all that the universe has brought to us in that moment. That our breath creates a symphony of experiences for our body, for our mind, for the opportunity to expand our consciousness and sit quietly in contemplation of the idea of divine peace. As we begin to relax into this time together, I invite you to envision the breath that you take, setting off an explosion of activity, that as the nourishment of that air makes its way into your body and you exhale, you are in tune. That the stream of consciousness that you are connected to in this vast universe is one of perfection, a divine wisdom that unlocks all that you need to know in every way you need to know it. Continuing to rest in the divine idea of peace. Know that you are embraced by Spirit, that in this moment, the presence that is within also surrounds and holds you. There is an eternal comfort in knowing that you are never alone. This peace that dwells within you also comes from you. You can send this peace anywhere you wish. These waves of energy coming from you, expanding around the globe and out into the universe, is something to share. once again with the power of your energy. And the infinite nature of your consciousness. Recognize with breath that you are full of life, that life is full of peace, and that shared existence is one that is shared among all. That carrying with you the idea of divine peace is one that brings peace. You carry that with you always. Coming together once again with a deep, full breath. I invite you to now awaken to the idea that you are one, that you are peace, and that the comfort in this moment is one that is with you in every day, always available, right there. And with gratitude for the time that we have spent together in contemplation this morning, I invite you to seal this prayer with, "And so it is." Thank you for joining me for this meditation. Our service starts at 10 o'clock.
Doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go now. It's about comfort and smiles. It's about love. It's about kindness. It's about hearts open wide. It's about love. It's about passion. It's about taking a chance. It's about love. It's about service. It's about lending a hand. It's about love. It's about laughter. It's about comfort and smiles. It's about love. It's about kindness. It's about hearts open wide. It's about love. It's about passion. It's about taking a chance. It's about love. It's about service. It's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors. The time is right. If you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. You gotta let it all And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Spirit run my life and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
New Wednesday evening experience. In this together. Practices for living through uncertain times. This series of talks is going to be designed to give you some ideas of how to move through the challenges that we face in our lives right now. Because let's face it, we are living in uncertain times, politically, economically, environmentally, socially, personally. The ground feels like it shifts faster than we can steady ourselves. And here's the truth. Uncertainty is not new. What feels new is the intensity of it right now, the velocity, the volume, the way that the information is coming at us so rapidly all of the time is what has led to this intensity that we are feeling right now.
We are in this together, breathing in and letting go, finding strength in one another, learning how to let love show in the silence, in the prayer, in the love we are whole. Here we are, here we stay, held in love along the way. Here we are, here we stay, held in love along the way. We're in this together, no one ever walks alone. We are held by something greater than the fears that we have known. We are in this together, side by side and soul to soul. In the breaking, in the healing, in the love, we are whole. Here we are.
morning, CSLGLV. How is everyone today? This first beautiful Sunday of spring. I thought for a while there we were just going to bypass spring, go straight from winter to summer. Anybody else think that? Those 100-degree temps last week? I'm so happy to see the overcast day today, so it's a blessing. All right, I want to say hi to everyone that is joining us online today. If you would, turn and wave at the screen back there, the window back there. I want to say a special hi to Michelle and Mary Jo and Jeff in Illinois and some of the people that are joining us online here. We are so thrilled to have you here with us. And I want to thank everyone who's here in person. Thank you all for being here. I see some faces I haven't seen for a while and a couple of new faces. That's always exciting. We're going to kick it off with some music. Justin, what are we singing?
Together We Rise.
Oh, Justin wrote this song, by the way. Together We Rise. So if you'd like to rise, and the word's going to be on the screen.
Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise. In times of struggle, we seek the Spirit of God within. Receptive to our calling, we love our neighbors and our friends. Relaxing in the knowing God's grace, it never ends. We gather as one people and with joyful hearts we sing.
Let's sing it now.
Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise. As we stay in gratitude, we let Spirit lead the way. Listening to the still small voice, it's always there to say. Trust in God with all your heart, the path ahead is clear. We unite together and there's nothing for us to fear.
Let's sing it now, here we go.
Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise.
Good morning, everybody. Greet your neighbor at this time if you're comfortable doing so.
before we get into our regularly scheduled program, if you remember back at the beginning of the month, we did a little practice about praying for peace and how we can keep that intention in our mind. Well, recently on the ministers listserv, it's a place where ministers can email each other, I came across an email about something called the Great Synchronization. And so the Great Synchronization is an experiment similar to the work that Lynn McTaggart does in her intention experiments. But the goal of this one was to engage 1% of the Earth's population. That's 80 million people. 1% of the Earth's population coming together for a common idea, for a common moment of silence where we can bring that consciousness together. You know, we've been talking about quantum physics all month long and how we are all connected together and moving through this waves of possibility that are existing throughout the universe, and how when we put our attention on a particular thing, we can bring that particular thing into our experience. And so the object of this one was to focus on 4 words for 5 minutes. The words were peace, love, unity, and respect. And so I sent this out to the practitioners, as that's the kind of thing I do all the time. I don't know whether they like it or not, but they get it. So I sent this out to the practitioners and invited them to join me in this 5-minute contemplation. And when I checked the website afterwards, they are pretty sure they came close, because they can check the number of people that are hitting the website. They are pretty sure they came close to their 1%. They don't have an exact number, but they were saying they think they've got at least 3/4 of that 1%. That's 60 million people coming together for 5 minutes across the world, all different time zones, all coming together at the very same moment across the world. And so they're going to continue this wonderful project every Saturday morning. In our time zone, it's 10 a.m. Every Saturday morning. Well, I sent it out, and our beloved Justin, in his musical creativity, created a song to go with it. So we're going to do this process here together, just to give you an example of what this is. And then Joe, our magical technology guy who can put everything I want just like that online for us, is going to post this video, what we're going to do right now, so that it appears on our YouTube channel at 10 o'clock every Saturday morning. So you can do it together. So every Saturday morning from now until we stop doing this, we can come together as part of this great synchronization. This idea of coming together as a broader community, as part of a global community, as part of a change in our world. Because when we come together, we create a momentum. And that momentum is a force of change. And so just by being in consciousness, just by taking those few moments to pause and reflect on the common ideas that we hold dear, who can't get behind peace in this world? Love, unity, and respect. Those are high values that we hold dear. And so coming together as a collective consciousness around that is a powerful force for change. So we're going to have Justin sing it. I'll do a little talking in between, and then we'll sing it in at the end. Are you going to have them sing with you?
Well, I'll sing it once, and why don't we all sing it together, and then you can go through your process.
Okay, and then we'll close it out again. All right, so I invite you to just take a breath.
Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's take the time to learn and reflect. Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's come together in love, we connect. There we are.
right, so let's try it now. The words are on the screen. Let's do it. One, here we go. Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's take the time to learn and reflect. Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's come together in love we connect.
So breathe in. Peace. Love. Unity. Respect. Pausing. Connecting with that collective consciousness. Breathing in. And recognizing our oneness. Breathing out. And touching lives. Peace. Love. Unity. Respect. One small act. Repeated consistently. One small act creates a momentum. One small act creates change. Peace, love, unity, respect. We are all in this together. One heart, one mind, one soul, one life. Peace, love, unity, respect.
All right, here we go. Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's take the time to learn and reflect. Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's come together in love we connect. Let's go now. Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's take the time to learn and connect. Peace, love, unity, respect. Let's come together in love we connect. Let's come together in love we connect.
So set your clocks. Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. in Pacific time. The goal is 1% of the Earth's human population coming together in peace, love, unity, and respect. Thank you for playing with us. We appreciate that. All right, we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled program now. I'm going to invite up our practitioner, Clay T. White, to give us our invocation, which is going to be followed by some beautiful music from Katie Power. Clay T.
So Joel Goldsmith, one of our mystics, tells us that we should pray, 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 pray. So that's what we're going to do right now. So go within and know that God is the omnipresence. God is everywhere present at all times. Let us know that we are one with this presence. We are one with the Almighty. We are one with love, with peace. peace, with joy, abundance. There's always enough. So I speak my word right now for peace, for love. And this brings us together in a mighty union. There is kindness there. That wherever we are, we're on holy ground. When we are in this consciousness, when we are in the consciousness knowing that we are created in the image and likeness of all this good. God is always the amazing grace flowing within us, all of this good. And because it flows within, we go within to that kingdom and we allow it to overflow. That's what we do when we're praying for our friends, our families, our enemies. We allow it to overflow. We know this is so. We release it into the law. And so it is.
Sweep into my soul. Sweep into my soul. Oh, Spirit divine, sweep into my soul. Let's sing now. Sweep into my soul. Sweep into my soul. Oh, Spirit divine, sweep into my soul. Oh, Spirit divine, sweep into my soul.
It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, all I ever needed was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit, and it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes and I am filled with the Spirit. Oh, it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, it is joy, it is joy, joy to my soul. And I breathe out my simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air.
Thank you, Katie. Oh, one of my favorites. Not that that matters, but it's one of my favorites anyway. All right, today we are continuing our exploration of quantum physics and mysticism and how they work together. Talk title for the day is More Than Enough. So we're going to explore this idea that more than enough. Sometimes when we talk about that phrase, it feels kind of tender inside of us. It can even be a little provocative, where we think of things like not barely enough, if we're thinking about more than enough. Sometimes we get that all convoluted in our heads. Sometimes we think it's just scraping by, or someday but not today. But for many of us, this phrase pushes on something within us, because we live in a world that runs on comparison. It runs on consumption. It runs on sometimes not so subtle anxiety about things like enoughness. We think about things like there's never enough time, there's never enough money, there's never enough recognition, there's never enough security, there's never enough love. Sometimes we get triggered by these things, this myth of not enough. This idea that not enough, because scarcity is very loud. Scarcity shows up, and when we are starting to think about scarcity, we can find examples all over the place of scarcity. We can find examples where there isn't enough money, where there isn't enough love, where there isn't enough kindness, where there isn't enough peace. Scarcity is so loud, it often tells us that it's only us and not everyone else that's experiencing this. It tells us things like, if someone wins, then someone else has got to lose. This scarcity is, I'd like to call it a big liar. It's out there trying to deceive us into believing there is not enough. It deceives us by making us feel like we have to prove ourselves, or that we have to compete against others, or that we have to get our piece before the rest of it's gone, because there's not going to be enough for everyone. This idea of scarcity, it creates fear within us. It creates a lot of anxiety within us. It creates a lot of distrust within us. And all of that fear and anxiety and distrust, creates an atmosphere of competition. And competition leads us to separation. And my friends, separation is the basis of all suffering that we experience. When we feel separate from other people, when we feel separate from spirit, when we feel separate, we suffer. And we exist in things like this idea of fear and anxiety. We want to compete. We want to get ours before the rest of it's gone. Our founder, Ernest, reminds us that the universe is an infinite storehouse of good. An infinite storehouse of good. He doesn't say it's a limited container. He doesn't tell us that it's being rationed. He doesn't even tell us that it's an exhaustible field of supply. He says it's an infinite storehouse of good. He goes on further to say, there is no lack in the universe at all. All limitation is in our own belief. There is no lack in the universe. All limitation is in our own belief. Which means that the question is not whether there is enough or not. The question becomes, are we willing to see it? Are we willing to experience this idea of enoughness? Or even that there is more than enough? So let's go into our science here. This is the science of oneness. And so I've talked a lot about quantum physics throughout the month here. In quantum physics experiments, the scientists take particles and they separate them. And they put them in vast different places, distances away from each other. And they have discovered that even no matter how far away they put them, when you do something to one molecule, one particle, the other particle that was separated from it is going to react the same way as that first particle. Now this has been measured. They can't fully explain how it happens yet, but they do document that it has happened. Our mystics would say it happens because they were never truly separate in the first place. So when we look into this idea of quantum physics here, we're talking about two distinct things here. The first one's non-locality, and I've spoke about that earlier in the month. And the second one is quantum entanglement. So non-locality is the phenomenon that exists when these particles are separated by vast differences and yet still remain connected instantaneously. Quantum entanglement is an interesting idea. So the scientists take laser beams and they shoot them into a crystal. And I tried to find the type of crystal, but no matter where I've looked, I haven't been able to discover it. So it's just a crystal. They shoot the laser beam in there, and what they do is they take that laser beam, that really fine focused laser beam, and they split a particle in two. So now they have two parts of this one particular particle of the crystal. And then they have these in little containers. I have no idea how all the science about this is done. They take these two containers and they ship them to different places in the world, literally across the globe. And then they will do something to the particle in one place, and the particle in the other place reacts the same way as the one in this place. And so they've proven that there was never any separation at all. Physically, they look like they are apart from each other. But everything about the essence of that particle is still intertwined with the other part of the particle. I was trying to find a really good example of this, and what kept coming up as I was doing my research was the experiment that's called Schrodinger's cat. Have you ever heard of Schrodinger's cat? Usually you hear of it on a sitcom. because they're trying to explain it. So Schrodinger was a scientist, and he theorized that if he put his cat in a box and he closed the lid of the box, the cat exists in two states. As long as the box is closed, we don't know whether that cat is alive or dead. Because the cat is in the box is closed, we can't see it. And so simultaneously, two states exist in that box. When I was teaching this in middle school, trying to explain it to my kids, I would take envelopes, and I took one envelope and I put a red card in it, and I took the other envelope and I put a blue card in it, and I sealed them, and then I had the kids shuffle them because, kids like to do that kind of stuff. I had them shuffle them and bring them back up to me. And so as I held the two envelopes, we know that one has a red card and one has a blue card. But the possibility of the red and blue card was equal in each envelope. So the possibility existed the same. It didn't matter what the particle was, the possibility of it was the same. I didn't know what was in this envelope until I opened up this envelope. And if I opened up this envelope and it was a red card, I knew what instantly? That this is a blue card. And so this idea of entanglement is that we can know instantaneously what is happening to two separate things at the same time, because they're never really separate. The possibility of both exist. Now, the mystics have always known this. They may not have known the scientific explanation of it, but they called it things like unity and oneness. They intrinsically knew that we were never separate from our source, that we are never separate from that one life. We're never separate from God, Spirit, the divine, intelligence, whatever you want to call it. You and I are not independent fragments of this one, trying to secure enough for ourselves. We are not in competition with anybody else. We are each a unique and perfect part of that one. We are expressions of that interconnected wholeness all the time. All the time. And so, we talked about this earlier this month, about the field of possibility exists before any form comes along. And so remember I said that we exist in this wave of possibility, and in this wave of possibility are particles. And those particles form things, or ideas, or experiences. But they exist as particles and waves at the same time. The wave, the field of all of this, precedes the form. Remember we talked about if we put our attention on a particular thing, like we just did with our great synchronization experiment, when we put our attention onto one thing, in the wave, in that field, it collapses into the experience that we're having. And so we put our attention on peace, love, unity, and respect. And so as the collective consciousness puts their attention into that, we begin to see more of it in our world. In modern terminology, we might call this the law of attraction. What we put our attention on, what we focus on, is what we begin to experience. But everything exists as possibility before it becomes form. The mystics would say that the invisible precedes the visible. The invisible essence, the invisible power, the presence, the consciousness exists before anything visible happens. So this idea of supply, it's not created just through our effort. It emerges when we align ourselves with that field. When we align ourselves with those waves of possibility, then the supply that we need emerges from us. In the Old Testament, they would have said, manna from heaven. When we need something, we pray and we receive manna from heaven, manna being food. Now, this doesn't mean that we sit back passively and wait for things to happen. But it means that we can act from a sense of trust, from a sense of knowing this truth, from a sense of knowing that we are always supplied, instead of acting from fear, from panic, from anxiety. When we act from knowing, we get a different experience in our lives. And this is the difference between striving and aligned action. Striving is that constant struggle, and it's based on fear and panic and that sense of not enoughness. But when we take aligned action, when we begin to align ourselves with that field, with those infinite possibilities that always exist, then we begin to have a different experience. Striving says, I must make this happen or I will not make it. Several years ago, there was a popular saying, if it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me. I have to make it happen. Can you sense the striving in that? Isn't there like oh my God, if I don't do this, it's not going to work. You know, there's a sense of striving and urgency in that. It's a force. I've got to do something. But alignment says, I am cooperating with this infinite intelligence that I know is always operating for the highest and greatest good. It is already at work. I am entering into it. Can you feel the difference there between that forcing something to happen and that idea of aligning ourselves with it and allowing it to move through us? When we live aligned, we don't feel like we're constantly pushing that boulder up the hill. It feels more like we are stepping into that flow, as I talked about last week, that river of flow. When we live in aligned action, we move along with it because we know it's going for our highest and greatest good. And so this idea of having enough, being enough, it's an inside job. It starts in here. It starts with our consciousness. It starts with our thoughts. It starts inside of us. It's very personal. And it's a job that we have to do individually. So where in your life do you have this feeling of I'm not enough? Often the conversation about enoughness isn't anything to do with supply or money or time. It's about our inherent sense of worth. So we think to ourselves, am I enough of a leader in my field? Am I enough of a parent? Am I being enough of a partner? Am I enough of a spiritual being? It's personal to us. It gets triggered by our personal issues. So in quantum physics, they say that you are a localized expression of cosmic energy. Like that? A localized expression of cosmic energy. I'm going to put that on a bumper sticker, I think. Quantum physics dismantles that idea that we are a small, isolated object in a vast mechanical universe, that we're just a cog in the wheel. You are a localized expression of cosmic energy. The mystics say it this way. You're an individualized expression of the divine. You are the place where God shows up. The very place on which you stand is holy ground, for God is there. If that is even just partially true, just the least bit true, imagine what a miracle you are. And if we can believe it fully, think of the miraculous things our lives can become. Your existence is not accidental. You just look at the biology of your existence. All of the combinations of DNA that could possibly come together to create you, just the way you are right now. Who could ever be arrogant enough to think God made a mistake when it created you? You are a perfect expression of creative intelligence. You don't have to try to become enough. You don't ever have to try to become more than what you are right now. Because right now you are more than enough. You are a marvelous miracle of a creative God. So let's get into this idea of why we don't always feel that way. Anybody else out here have any tendency whatsoever at all to hoard things? I have a standing joke in my life. It's in my garage. I know I have it, but it's in my garage. We hoard because we don't feel like there's enough. We keep on holding on to things. My particular thing happens to be mostly craft supplies. I would never want to get rid of them because what if I need it one day, right? But when we feel this scarcity, when we hold on to things, we contract. We hold tightly, we guard. We also compete. We also think if I don't hold on to it, there's never going to be enough there. But this field that we're talking about is dynamic. This energy is constantly flowing through it. It circulates, it exchanges, it moves things in and out of our experience. Have you ever lost something you really loved and was replaced by something even better? That wasn't accidental. That was the universe at play. Think about this. Let's go back to the biology of it. Think about this. Can you hoard oxygen? Let's do a little experiment. Breathe in. Breathe in right now. Let's go. Breathe in. All right, now hold it. Hold it. Don't let it go. Hold it. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. Don't let it go. At some point, you have to let go, don't you? We can't hoard breath. We can't hoard it at all. That is the most perfect example of how we got to let things go. We cannot hold oxygen and stay alive. And so this idea of more than enough, it's not about accumulating things and holding on to them. It's about entering into that circulation, letting it move into our experience, letting it move out of our experience. When we trust the flow, we tend to give more freely because we're not worried. We know that that flow is going to return things to us. May not be exactly the same thing. It might be something even better. When we enter into that flow, not only do we give more freely, but we receive more easily. When I first came here in 2005, one of those beloved practitioners, God, you got to love them. Sometimes they can really get to you. Looked at me and said, when are you ever going to learn to receive? Because I wouldn't let anybody do anything for me. I wasn't open to receiving. And of course, I was hoarding and holding on to everything tightly. But when we learn to give and receive, we participate in the movement of life. It wants to move through us that way. It wants to ebb and flow. It wants to give and receive. And the tighter we feel, the more constricted we feel. And the more we circulate, the more expansive we begin to feel in ourselves. And so this idea of living from overflow. Overflow does not mean extravagance. You do not have to live in a mansion to live from overflow. Overflow means that I feel like I have enough inside of myself. It means that I feel like I am enough inside of myself. That I am living in that ebb and flow of life, that giving and receiving. It's a quiet knowing that there is enough love within me that I can forgive. It's enough knowing that there is enough creativity always flowing through me that no matter what happens, I can begin again. It's knowing that I have an intelligence that is guiding me and will help me navigate any change I experience in my life. It's knowing that I always have enough support to take the next best step. Doesn't mean I have to see everything in front of me, but I know that I am guided and directed by this creative love intelligence that is moving through me. So you've heard Clay T mention Joel Goldsmith. There's several of us that spend a lot of time studying Joel. He talks about this idea of having enough, of being enough, when he talks about the words of what he calls Christ Jesus, Jesus of Nazareth, we refer to as the master teacher, the one who was the example of how to live in conscious union with Spirit, not the exception, but the example. And Joel tells us that the most important words that Christ Jesus ever spoke were these: I have meat to eat ye know not of. And if we understand that, we understand the essence of the teachings of Jesus. If we understand that, we live in deep connection with Source, with Spirit, with God. I have meat to eat ye know not of. This comes from the book of John, where John is describing an experience of Jesus is sitting there and he's in meditation, and his disciples come to him with some food because he hasn't eaten for a while and they think he needs to eat. And he says to them, I have meat to eat ye know not of. Get away from me. I don't need that physical stuff that you're putting in front of me. I have an inner resource. I have an inner supply that is constantly flowing through me. And that source is always available and is always meeting every need that we have. If you do nothing else, take this idea into contemplation and see what gets revealed for you. I have meat to eat ye know not of. There is a deep well that's moving through each one of us. We don't have to see the whole path. We don't have to see the food in front of us. But when we develop that knowing that it's always going to be supplied, we have a completely different experience of our life. This is when we begin to move from a state of trust instead of a state of fear. And when we do that, something extraordinary begins to happen. One of the most amazing things of metaphysics altogether, when we begin to act from trust instead of fear, all of our needs are met. Everything we could absolutely ever need is met. It may not be exactly how we described it, but all of our needs are met. And so this idea of scarcity, when we think of scarcity, we think of things that make us separate from other people. Scarcity puts us in competition with others. Scarcity tells us we got to get ours before somebody else gets it. Are we seeing any of that in our world right now? I'm thinking of oil myself. Got to get it before the rest of them get it, otherwise there isn't going to be enough. But abundance consciousness, knowing that we are in a world where we are infinitely supplied, that breeds unity. That brings us together as a people. That brings us together as creations of a one God. To say that there is more than enough is not to deny any injustices that we see out there. It's not to deny the economic disparity that we see across our world. It's not spiritual bypassing. It is grounding ourselves in spiritual truth. When we remember that we are part of this deeper field, we respond more wisely to the things around us. And we become agents of circulation instead of contributing to the panic that others are feeling around us. And when we begin to show up with this idea of enoughness or more than enough, we show up in the world as a steady and stable force. We show up as a safe place in our world. We stop reacting from fear and we start responding with clarity about what is true. And that changes everything. Everything that we can possibly feel. And so how do we begin to do that? How do we shift from shifting from not enough to more than enough? The first thing that we have to do is we have to interrupt the scarcity thought. The moment that we recognize we're feeling constricted anywhere, we got to stop that. When we notice that there isn't enough of whatever that enough is, we pause and ask, is that true, honey? Is that what one of my practitioners always said to me? Is that true, honey? Is it just a misperception? Am I just finding evidence of it out there and so I'm believing that that's the truth? Interrupt the scarcity thought. And then the second thing is to affirm our participation in this divine creative process. Say things to yourself like, I live in a field of abundance. I participate in the flow. You're not trying to convince yourself. You're trying to remind yourself. This is already true. You just need a little reminder every once in a while when we get caught up in it. And my favorite one, circulate something daily. Now, circulation has a lot of different ways it can go about. You can give it away to somebody or charity. You can actually circulate by throwing away, too. You can circulate by allowing something to come into your experience. One of our beloved practitioners has this wonderful practice that she uses that's giving away 9 things every day for 27 days. And I can't remember the math of it, but it's a lot of things. So you either have to throw it away, put it away, or give it away to get it out of your space that you're in. Throw it away, put it away, give it away. I try to do 3 of each when I do the practice. I'm going to find 3 things I can throw away, 3 things I can give away, and 3 things that have to be put somewhere where they belong. But just try to find some different ways that you can circulate, enter into that circulation. And so I want you to just begin to imagine that we live in this world that is grounded by this idea that there is always enough. Imagine how that would change. There's always enough. No striving for more. There's always enough. We're not competing for our significance in the world. We know that we're enough, just the way that we are. We're not guarding our resources in fear. We know there's plenty out there. We are rooted in the awareness that we are expressions of that infinite and divine life. We remember that the place on which we stand is holy ground, for God is right there. More than enough is not some future condition that we have to strive for. It is simply a spiritual realization. It is already true. We just need to realize it within ourselves. The field is already whole. Source is already more than sufficient. And life is expressing as you perfectly right now. You don't need to become more. You need to remember what you are, whose you are. And when we align ourselves with this deeper truth, you discover that there is more love than you could ever imagine in the world. More strength than you ever assumed was possible. And more possibility than you can even begin to think of. You are, right here, right now, more than enough. You've always been, you always will be. It's just time to realize it. All right, let's take this into prayer. I invite our practitioners to stand and surround us. We have a few here today, yeah. And so take in that breath, but make sure you let it out this time. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow yourself to relax into the chair. And connect with that place in consciousness where you feel that presence. I find it in my heart center. And so right here and right now, I know that there is only one power, one presence, one creative love intelligence, one source and supply of all. And I know this one shows up in many forms and goes by many names. And I know that it doesn't matter how we see it or what we call it, for it is only ever one. And I know this one is infinite and vast. It is intelligence and wisdom. It is love and harmony. It is that perfect peace. And because I know there's only one, I know that I am one with it. That the power and the presence of this creative love intelligence resides right at the heart of my being. I know that it is manifesting itself through me, as me, in all that I am and all that I do. I know that I am an expression of that divine life. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for each and every one of us. For we are all a perfect incarnation of this creative love intelligence. It has brought us into existence to experience this life as us, through us, with us. And so knowing this truth, I speak my word. I know that each one of us is immersed in this field of infinite possibility, that it is continuously flowing itself through us and showing up in our experience. And I know that when we allow ourselves to enter into this flow, as we clear those things that block, those beliefs and ideas that block the knowledge and the wisdom of the Spirit moving through us, I know that we participate in that flow more fully and freely than we ever have before. I know that this infinite intelligence never judges, never limits, never says this one can have and this one can't have. For I don't believe in that super Santa Claus God. I believe in this infinite intelligence that is moving itself into expression in every way for every possible need. And so knowing that this is true, I just give great thanks for it. I'm so grateful to know it's happening right here and right now. And I am so grateful to see evidence of it every single day. And so I release this word into the law, into the creative mind that always says yes, that never experiences lack or limitation, and is always unfolding itself for the highest and greatest good of all. I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, so it is.
I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things things that no longer serve me as I'm letting go. God's revealing I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me as I'm letting go. God's revealing I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me as I'm letting go. God's revealing I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me as I'm letting go. God's revealing I am whole.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, practitioners. Thank you, everyone, for singing along with us. So now we have an opportunity to support our community financially. Our spiritual community is entirely sustained through your generosity and we're active participation of our members. We are so blessed by everything that you give and everything that you are for us. And so we have some electronic ways that you can give here. Zelle, text to give, and our website has a link to it. And we gratefully receive cash and check donations here today. And so if you would, put your hands over your heart. You can give us a little blessing here. Would you repeat after me? We are strengthened by every prayer. We are enlivened by every act of kindness. And we are sustained by the sacred flow of life. And so it is. What are we singing,
Money's
Justin?
coming to me.
Money is coming to me. It's got a nice groove. Words are on the screen if you'd like to sing along.
Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Every time I open my heart to me, I receive all that I need. Knowing that God heals my soul. Coming to me, I release and let it flow. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. And I have all I need coming to me. And it's all inside of me. I just ask and let it go to me. And let spirit rain flow. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me.
Whew. I love it when my song does my sermon. All right, we just give thanks for everything we received here and everything that is moving its way to us in consciousness. We know that we are entirely blessed, sustained, and provided for by this love intelligence. And so it is. Thank you. All right, we have Katie. All right.
things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I'm not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I'm not my race. My soul inside. It's all light. Yeah. I am light. 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 I am light.
Beautiful, thank you. All right, just a few announcements here. Running a little behind, but our Spirit of Giving program, today's the last day to turn in your pledges for that. We didn't put the cards on the chairs. Okay, they're there. Talk to Kaylee and Kelly in the back. They'll get you the cards for you. If you haven't submitted yours yet, remember your card is your ticket for the jazz brunch. And our jazz brunch, it'll be next Sunday after service. All you have to do is fill out this card, and then you'll be invited to the jazz brunch. You'll be able to come into that. We have the wonderful Katie's going to be singing. Justin's brought the band back together, Mike and Brian. Mike and Brian and Justin will be here, all decked out in their suits with their basses and all that wonderful jazz stuff that they've got. You're going to be the only one with the bass? Figures. Mike is our drummer. Brian is our pianist. So on the back table, so those of you that have already filled out your pledge cards and are filling them out today, on the back table in the corner over there, that black round table, if you have a food sensitivity, a food preference, anything like that, we need to know that. And so like if you're vegan or if you're vegetarian or if you're gluten-free or dairy-free or nut-free or you know, whatever, whatever it is, just go ahead and fill one out. If you like it all, everything's good for you, don't worry about filling one out. We'll have plenty of boxes ready for you. But if you have a special sensitivity, we need to know about that today. So make sure you fill that out in the back. And then give the paper to Kaylee and Kelly, who will be in the back for you to grab those papers so that we can make sure that we have a lunch that's appropriate for you. So it's a wonderful experience. We decked the place out. It looks very elegant. And you saw some of the pictures on the commercial for the In This Together. Our youth church is going to be doing an Easter egg hunt. So if you know any little ones that would love to participate in an Easter egg hunt, bring them on Sunday, April 5th. That's Easter Sunday. And they will be out in there having fun, looking for eggs. So we appreciate Christine Page, our youth director, and all of the volunteers that help her. So if you're interested in bringing some little ones with you, please make sure you bring them in. Today at 2:30 p.m. we have our women's circle. It meets right here in the sanctuary. It's a wonderful experience. Judy Petit is our lead for that, and she provides wonderful experiences for women to move through different topics in their lives. And so if you're interested in that, come and join us at 2:30 p.m. Our Walking the Path group meets at 10 a.m. every Tuesday morning. It's a wonderful discussion group, Science of Mind magazine, reading of the day, and then they just see where the discussion leads them from there. And then as you saw in the commercial, we have our Wednesday night In This Together. You're welcome to bring your dinner with you. We set up some tables in the back. We have a little bit of fellowship while we eat our dinner, and then at 7 o'clock, we watch a YouTube recording of our Wednesday evening talk. And again, these are all about practices that help us move through uncertain times like we're experiencing right now. So come and join us for that. It starts at 6:30. The video starts at 7, and we're out of here by 8. We have our moment of prayer available in our prayer room. Clay T, can you watch the door? Great. So Clay T will be at the door to guide anyone into a practitioner that is looking for a personal spiritual mind treatment. And if you would help us, if you're physically able to and can help us stack the back 5 rows of chairs, we would appreciate that. We stack them up against this wall over here under that TV away from the stained glass. So we appreciate that. Would you stand, please? If you're so inclined, grab a hand. All right, we get them all connected. We are all one here. We're going to connect. All right, would you repeat after me? There is only one life. There is only one life. That life is God. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is perfect. That life is my life now.
That life is my life now.
Have a beautiful and blessed week. We'll see you all next week.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you